at the Los Cruces Studios this Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, down there. Serving it up with Joe Nathan. Hey, I got an awesome host, or a guest with me today. I'm the host. And that is nothing more than Mr. DJ Quiet Storm, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, what we got going on?
It's going to be an old school.
Yeah, a little old school joint?
That's nothing but old school.
Yeah?
I would love to take you back, memory back.
You gonna take us back?
We're going to go down that line.
When you say take us back, I need you to take me back.
I'm going to take you how far you want to go back.
I want to go far, baby.
Oh.
I want to go high and wide, baby.
We're going to do a little bumping and grinding.
Watch out now.
We're
Watch out
going to do
now.
the spank.
Ooh, the spank?
Oh, the feel.
The stank it dank.
There you go.
Hey, what we talking about? We talking about what? New Year's?
New Year's Eve.
2021 New Year's Eve. It's going to be 35 for couple and 20 for singles, right?
All day.
And the address is nothing else than the Elks Lodge, 3000 Elks Drive, Los Cruces, New Mexico. So what we going to be doing out there?
Having a good time.
Having a good time? Why is that?
Because I'm going to be there.
Ooh, that's what I wanted you to say, baby.
I'm going to be there.
DJ, you going to be there?
Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm, baby.
I'm going to take you down memory lane.
Ooh, he going to be in the house?
All day.
Hey, when you walk in, make sure you say, ooh, ooh. Let me know you're in the house. Ooh, ooh. Hey, don't forget, this Saturday and Sunday, come join us down at the Los Cruces channel. This is going to be an awesome show, ladies and gentlemen. Little dancing, little swing, talking about his history, where he come from, and loving on DJ Quiet Storm. Meet us there. We'll be there for you. Come on, we'll see you soon.
Have a good time.
Yeah, baby.
Love and happiness.
Yeah, DJ Quiet Storm.
All folks do the check on them. Go on and walk in.
Redness, burning, itchy feet. You may be suffering from athlete's foot and be eligible for a clinical trial. 3A Research is conducting a clinical trial of an investigational drug for treating athlete's foot. This is a 6-week study. We will compensate your time, travel, and reimbursement of up to $225. Contact our office, 3A Research with Michael Raucci.
Call our offices today for more information. Serving El Paso and now open in Las Cruces. I hope to see you soon.
Redness, burning, itchy feet. You may be suffering from athlete's foot and be eligible for a clinical trial. 3A Research is conducting a clinical trial of an investigational drug for treating athlete's foot. This is a 6-week study. We will compensate your time, travel, and reimbursement of up to $225. Contact our office, 3A Research with Michael Raucci.
Call our offices today for more information. Serving El Paso and now open in Las Cruces. I hope to see you soon.
Did you know children should have their first comprehensive eye exam at 6 months of age and every 1 to 2 years afterwards? Unfortunately, most children have not had an eye exam. While there are many reasons children haven't been to an eye doctor, the ability to pay for the exam is not one of them. Medicaid or most private insurances cover the cost of the exam and glasses. And if they don't, New Mexico Lion's Operation Kid Site has funding available, so it's free for the family.
Redness, burning, itchy feet. You may be suffering from athlete's foot and be eligible for a clinical trial. 3A Research is conducting a clinical trial of an investigational drug for treating athlete's foot. This is a 6-week study. We will compensate your time, travel, and reimbursement of up to $225. Contact our office, 3A Research with Michael Raucci.
Call our offices today for more information. Serving El Paso and now open in Las Cruces. I hope to see you soon.
Oh, hey, Mark Steffen here at the Las Cruces Studios. We're in the green room right now. I do my weekly show, Double Talk. But this week I'm not doing Double Talk. I'm a guest on This Week with Sam Stichter, right here on the Las Cruces channel. Y'all stay tuned for that.
Well, welcome to This Week with Sam Stichter. And go figure, I am Sam Stichter. Well, you know Las Cruces, my producer and I met a couple of months ago. Chris, he's the producer of this show here in the Las Cruces studios. And we were discussing about putting on a show like this, an entertaining show for the people of Las Cruces. And all of a sudden, well, you know what happened. The coronavirus hit. And everyone's world got turned upside down. And we didn't really know what was going to happen. A lot of times of uncertainty going on right now. But as we talked a little bit more about it and decided, is this really the time to put on a new show? And the more we talked about it, the more we decided, yes, this is definitely the time to bring Las Cruces some entertainment, even if we can just, bring you 30 minutes of an escape away from the uncertainty, the craziness that's going on out there. And we're going to have great people here on the show. We have actors, singers, dancers, politicians. So we're going to have a great show. A little bit about myself. Some of you may recognize me. I'm a teacher here with the Las Cruces Public Schools. I'm a technology teacher at Lynn Middle School. Go Cougars. And also recently, I received my PhD from New Mexico State University. Go Aggies. A little bit of trivia about our great state of New Mexico. There's more PhDs per capita in New Mexico than there is in the entire nation. So we got a lot of smart people here. But funny thing is, there's also there's also more cows than people in New Mexico. And we also are the chili capital of the world. So maybe those PhDs should be studying chili-eating cows or cow-eating chilies. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, I guess it could be. They're definitely not vegetarians. So you can blame the writers for that bad joke. But anyway, folks, we have a great show today. We have some wonderful guests in our studio. We have a local actor and author, Mark Steffen, and we have Pastor Stahl with us today, Meyer Stahl. And so stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to This Week. So later on in the show, we have a wonderful entertainer. Our musical guest here will be Dawn Solar. She should be coming up with a beautiful song later in the show. So I mentioned earlier that about the coronavirus, and we all have that on our mind these days. And one of the things that's definitely come along with the virus is the dreaded social distancing. So, and unfortunately, because of that, I was going to have a sidekick on the show with me. But we had to watch that whole 6 feet social distancing, as I said. So many of you have seen the movie, I'm sure, Castaway with Tom Hanks. And in that movie, Tom Hanks had his volleyball Wilson. So, and for those of you who are wondering about Tom Hanks, he and his wife Rita Wilson, I saw the other night, on the news, are back in Hollywood, and they're home from Australia, doing well. But anyway, Tom had had Wilson, and I have my buddy here, Scott. So welcome to the show, Scott. Scott's going to be joining me here at the desk, and he's going to be helping me talk to some of my guests. So in honor of that, I rescued Scott from a Walmart shelf. He was one of the few left. He unfortunately lost a bunch of his friends and family members to a bunch of hoarders. And so he he's here with me now, and he's safe. So, but we have a wonderful guest on the show tonight. We have our first guest. He's a local actor and TV host like myself here in the Las Cruces channel. Please welcome Mark Steckner.
Well, thanks. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everybody. Good to be here. Congratulations on your new show.
Thank you, Mark.
Now, I'm sitting pretty close to you. You're safe, right? Scott's safe. I've never been upstaged by a roll of toilet paper before.
Well, Scott does have his own agent.
I can take him into a small room and use him. But anyway, I'm glad to be here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So, as I mentioned, you have your own show, and you're an actor. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I've been a member of Screen Actors Guild for over 30 years, but it doesn't come in handy much around here. Once in a while, I'll go up to Albuquerque or Santa Fe and audition for something when my agent calls and says, hey, you've got an audition for this, that, and the other thing. And with more and more shows coming to the state, there's more and more opportunities. But right now, I'm just doing the TV show. Once in a while, I'll do a play. And how about you? Do you act?
No, I don't. I actually am a teacher. So during the day, but right now with the school closing, this is my full-time gig, so to speak.
Well, you're performing in front of a group of students, day in and day out.
Yeah, that's right. So are you from Las Cruces originally?
I am from Las Cruces. I was born and raised here. After I graduated from NMSU, I went out to Hollywood.
Oh wow!
And I lived out there for 13 years. But I'm back.
And what was Hollywood like? Did you get any gigs out there?
Oh, I worked in the film and TV business there most of the time. I was there, and so I learned a lot there. I'd gone to film school, so I went out to Hollywood. And I thought, well, I thought I wanted to be a director, but it only takes one director in a movie, but they need a bunch of actors.
That's right.
So it's a lot easier getting acting work and extra work too.
I know you mentioned to me before the show that at one point you even worked with George Romero.
I did. George was my boss on a TV series called Tales from the Dark Side.
I remember that.
Yeah. I worked in the editing room on that show.
So we know George from all the zombie movies. Right now, I'm sure with the coronavirus and the apocalypse, that's kind of on everyone's mind.
Absolutely. Just the other day I was in the mall when everything was still open. I wanted to buy a shirt and to wear on my show. This shirt actually. And I told the sales girl that I was a medium. She said, really? Can you contact my dead Uncle Fred? But seriously, I did buy this shirt there.
Right. So I understand that you're also an author. Are you working on anything right now?
Well, I've written a lot of things. I've written plays and screenplays and teleplays and short stories and magazine and newspaper articles. But I've never written a novel before, and that's what I'm writing right now.
And can you tell us a little bit about it?
Not really.
Not really. It's a secret?
Well, Pretty King Down on Heaven. It's a science fiction piece, and I'm about 40,000 words in so far.
All right. Okay, well, good luck on that, and we'll have to have you back on the show when you have it finished.
When it's a bestseller? Yeah.
Yes, on the New York Times bestseller list. So I also know, I mentioned earlier that you have a show here on the Las Cruces channel,
yes.
Double Talk. And can you tell us a little bit about that? I was recently came in on as your co-host.
You came on my show and you helped host with me because my standard co-host Michael was out, and we've been on the air now for 10 years.
Wow,
longest running show in Las Cruces, Las Cruces history actually, and that it's good having a co-host. Our favorite topic is food and drink, and so we sample something to drink every week. And we like to talk about restaurants and food and so forth. It's getting harder and harder to talk about restaurants right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know a lot of the restaurants, or at least they're doing the where you can pick up and drive up and call ahead. I know the other night my family and I ordered from Texas Roadhouse, and they seem to be somewhat busy. Obviously not as busy as they normally would be.
Right.
But at least they're still able to serve the public, which is a good thing.
And I guess we're saving on tip.
And how about you? Have you frequented any of the places?
I have. I've been to. I tried to go to Signs Gorditas, never closed for some strange reason, and that's all they do is takeout. But yeah, I went to Luna Rosa Winery. I got takeout from there. I also went to Andale's Doghouse, and they've got their own takeout setup arranged. And I was at La Casita de Nuevo just last night. So you can get food if you know where to go. Senor, we got some food from there the other night.
All right. So a lot of people right now are sitting at home binging TVs. Is there any particular TV shows or Netflix that you watch right now?
Well, I don't stream. I haven't gotten into streaming yet. I don't have to because I have enough stuff that I record that comes on, HBO, Showtime, and the regular channels that I never get caught up. Sometimes I get down to 1-2% of time left to record, so I have to start deleting stuff. And I watch a lot of news. I record lots and lots of movies, especially classic films. I'm a film historian, and so I'm always catching up on old films that I want to show somebody else or that I'd like to see again. But my film series at the Rio Grande Theater got canceled because the Rio Grande Theater closed.
Well, hopefully once this virus moves on, we can come back and see you here in Las Cruces. And thank you for being the first guest of my show. So we're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back after these messages.
In America, the zip code you're born in can determine your future. But no matter what neighborhood you grow up in, the Y creates opportunities for all. For a better us, support your local Y today.
Oh, stop it. You're the funniest thing. Oh, hi. I was just having a few words with Scott. I'm about to go on and sing a song, so I hope you watch the show and enjoy. And I'll just say a few more little things while I have Scott's attention.
Thank you. Welcome back. Folks, I'm really excited to have my own show here on the Las Cruces channel. It's been almost 30 years since I've hosted a TV show. I'm originally from Reading, Pennsylvania, and back there I hosted a show on TV 51. So hi to my family and friends back in Reading, Pennsylvania, who I know are watching on YouTube. And today we are in for a wonderful treat. We have a local singer, Dawn Solar, who's going to be joining us here in the studio and singing a song for us. Dawn is also going to have her own show here on the Las Cruces channel called An Evening with Dawn. So let's take it away, Dawn.
Be my silver spring, my blue-green colors flashing. I would be your only dream. Shining autumn ocean crashing. It was pretty. And did you say that she loves you? Baby, I don't want. I'll begin not to love you. You turn around, see me running. I'll say I loved you years ago and tell myself you never loved me, no. And did you say she was pretty? And did you say that she loves you? Baby, I don't wanna know. Oh no. And can you tell me, was it worth it? Really, I don't wanna know. Time cast a spell on you, and you a spell on you, but you won't forget me. Well, I know I could have loved you, but you would not let me. Well, I'll follow you down till the sound of my voice will haunt you. Was it just a fool? You'll never get away. Never get away. No, no, no. I'll follow you down till the sound of my voice will haunt you. Give me just a chance. You will never get away. Never get away. Never get away. You could be my silver spring, my blue-green colors flashing.
Thank you. Well, Dawn, that was a beautiful rendition of Stevie Nicks' Silver Spring.
Thank you. One of my favorites. Thank you very much.
Yes, I love that song as well. Dawn, I know you're a singer here in the Las Cruces area. How long have you been singing?
I've been singing a long, long time since Mr. Microphone came out, and we were inseparable. So that's a while back, but we enjoy singing.
Yes. Well, and I know you enjoy singing because I've heard that you're going to be having a show like me here on the Las Cruces channel.
Yes, I'm excited. Get to show some of my different genres of songs. So that'll be called An Evening with Dawn. So please tune in.
All right. So yes, Las Cruces, go ahead and tune into her show, and we'll be right back with This Week. Welcome back to This Week. What's that, Scott? Scott's my co-host. Scott? Yes, Scott, you crack me up. So I know, Scott, I'm excited too. This is our first show. And so far we've had some great guests. We've had local author Mark Steffen. He also has a show here on the Las Cruces channel. And we had our singing guest, Dawn Solar. And now we have our Pastor Meyer Stahl here in the studio with us. Welcome to the show, Pastor Stahl.
Thank you for having me, Sam. I appreciate that.
So, Pastor, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I came from Philadelphia, and I was studying the Bible, and I've been studying the Bible now for 50 years. And we found a little Bible study group out here, and I led the Bible study, and they wanted to make me their pastor. So here I am.
So we have something in common. We're both originally from Pennsylvania. I don't know if you heard me mention earlier, I'm from Reading.
I did. You have more snow than we had in Philadelphia.
That's right. So I know Philadelphia very well. So I also understand that you're an author like our other guest here, Mark. Mark,
yes,
Mark
I am.
is working on a book, but you've actually had one published. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. It's right here. It's called World War III Coming Soon. And I published that several years ago, and that's my book.
So, what can you tell us a little bit about what the book is about?
Sure. It's about World War III, but I found that what is called the keys to the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation has a lot of symbolism, and it's hard to understand, but it's easy to understand once you understand what the symbolism is. So I studied it, and I found what I call the keys to the book of Revelation. It opens up the book of Revelation so people can understand it.
I know that obviously you're a man of God, and can you tell us a little bit about, I understand you have an interesting story about how you were called?
I do have an interesting story. It takes a while, but let me give you the short story.
Okay.
The short story is I had a special dream. And in the special dream, it sort of woke me up to understand that I've got to look into the Bible. I've got to study the Bible. If there is a God, I want to know that there is a God. And if there is a Savior, Jesus Christ, I want to know that if it's true or not. I came from a Jewish background, and it's hard to accept Jesus as my Savior.
So what do you think about this coronavirus? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on the coronavirus is God wants to get our attention. And this coronavirus is going all over the world. And there's a lot of sin in this world, and it's going to wake people up to realize that they need God in their lives.
What about you, Mark? What are your thoughts on the coronavirus and what's going on here? It's all over the news lately.
Well, it's something we definitely have to pay attention to. It's got my attention, and but I think after a while it'll pass the way it's passing. It's going out of South Korea now. China seems to have a good handle on it. We're not really as equipped as they are, but what I'm afraid of, once it makes its way out, there'll be another wave of it. So we have to be prepared for the second wave.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's something that, again, I mentioned earlier, that whole idea of uncertainty. We just don't really know how long it's going to be around. And like I said, I mentioned that I'm a teacher, and they just canceled school for the rest of the year, at least in person. So again, something that I never would have thought would have happened. So I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see and trust in a higher power, so to speak, and see what's going to happen.
I think so.
So, Pastor, and along with Mark, I think, one thing we all three have in common, we all have a show here now on the Las Cruces channel. You have a show that's called What is Truth? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. What I do is I go into the Bible and I pick Bible subjects. And I ask God in prayer what He would have me to do, and an idea comes into my head. God doesn't talk to me, just an idea comes into my head, and I pursue that course, and I bring that subject up, and I study the Bible, and I help people to understand the various parts of the Bible that might be a little hard for the average person to get.
So I know your show, like ours, is not only on Comcast Channel 98, but you're also seen worldwide on Facebook and on YouTube.
Yes, I am. All you need to do is go to What is Truth with Meyer Stahl on Facebook or YouTube, and you can pull me up and you can watch any one of our programs.
And I understand you've done, how many shows have you done so far?
10 years, about 500 programs. And you can watch them all on YouTube.
Wow, that's amazing. And the producer told me that there's a reason that you carry this mint and you have your little pen here. Can you tell us?
Okay, the mint is when I'm talking, my throat dries up, and I take a mint. And the reason I have this pen is I like to show the audience the scriptures as I'm reading them. I go along with the pen, and they could track with me as I show them the scriptures in the Bible. This is a special pen. I'm going to send it on to the museum someday.
The Smithsonian Museum?
Museum someday.
There you go, they can archive it for you. So I know I asked this to Mark earlier. He's a Las Cruces resident. Are you Las Cruces? How long have you lived here in Las Cruces?
I've been here since 1998.
Okay.
I'm coming from Philadelphia all my life. I was born in Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned earlier, like I said, I've been here since, I'm here a little less than you, I've been here since 2003, so we're both transplants to this beautiful city of Las Cruces.
I love this city, Sam.
Do you? I do as well. I love the weather. The weather here, you can't beat it. I miss my family and friends back in Pennsylvania, but I definitely don't miss the shoveling snow and raking leaves and doing all that.
I'm with you on that.
So can you give us any? Can I ask you a personal question? How
Sure.
How old are you, Pastor Stahl?
I'm 84 years old.
I'd say 84 years young. And can you give us any tips on being healthy at your age?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I do every day. Every day I drink a 12-ounce glass of vegetable juice, freshly squeezed vegetable juice going through a juicer. And that's one of the health tips that I have for people. And if I miss one day, I could feel the difference. It does work.
Well, you know, I'd say I hope to look as good as you do when I'm 84 years old. So I want to thank you for being on the show today, Pastor, and I also want to thank you, Mark, for being on our show. And I'd like to thank you, Las Cruces, for joining us here on This Week with Sam Stichter. And remember, I know it's hard out there right now with everything going on with this coronavirus, but please be kind to one another. And remember, make this week your best week. Thank you.
Redness, burning, itchy feet. You may be suffering from athlete's foot and be eligible for a clinical trial. 3A Research is conducting a clinical trial of an investigational drug for treating athlete's foot. This is a 6-week study. We will compensate your time, travel, and reimbursement of up to $225. Contact our office, 3A Research with Michael Raucci.
Call our offices today for more information. Serving El Paso and now open in Las Cruces. I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Welcome to This Week with Sam Stichter. You know, I'm excited to come back here for our second show. After our first show, I got a lot of positive feedback from the Las Cruces community, and I was out and about in some of the grocery stores. And the other day, I was over at Albertsons on El Paseo, and as I was in line, the cash register, the girl at the cash register said to me, "You know, you look really familiar." And a lot of times I get that because, as I mentioned before, I'm a teacher. And she said, no, she said, I said, well, you know, not to brag, but I do have my own TV show on the Las Cruces channel. And she said, yeah, I seen you as I was flicking the channel. She goes, where's Scott? And, you know, that's what I keep getting. Everybody wants to know where Scott is. You know, and I'm a 52-year-old man. You really think I'm going to be walking around Las Cruces carrying a roll of toilet paper with me? So Scott kind of stays in his own spot between shows, and I get him out. And Scott's going to be on the show with me here tonight, so don't worry. In fact, I have a special surprise for him because it's his birthday. So during our next segment, we're going to be wishing Scott a happy birthday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So as I said, my day job, so to speak, is a teacher, and I know lots of you right now are at home teaching your children. Pretty fun, isn't it? Now you know what I go through on a daily basis. You're welcome. But, you know, I have my grandson who lives at home with me, and he always says to me, you know, Pop, I'm not good at math. And, you know, he may not be good at textbook math, but I'll tell you what, he's good at street math. Because a little while back,
I won some money on the New Mexico lottery. I won $500. And he said to me, hey, Pop-Up, can you buy me a video game? So he's been wanting this video game that was for $60, so I bought it for him. And about a couple days later, he says, Pop-Up, I've been thinking about something. And I said, what's that, son? And he said, you bought me that video game for $60. He goes, you should have $440 left. And I said, yeah, I do. And he says, well, he goes, I was thinking, 100 for you and Grandma, so that's 200. 100 for Dad. And he goes, and then the rest for me. And I'm like, well, how much? I said, how much do you think I'm going to give you? And he goes, and he starts adding it in his head. And he goes, well, there's 40 left over. Plus, he goes, $140. So don't tell me he doesn't know math. So right away he was able to figure that out in his head. So he really knows math, and I bet your students out there, your kids know more than they're acting like they do too. So, but it's been a strange time here in Las Cruces, and one of the things that we're trying to do here is bring you a great show. And speaking of which, we have an awesome show tonight. We have County Commissioner Isabella Solis going to be joining us. Our special musical guest tonight is Exclusive Soul, and also joining me in the kitchen is one of our regular guests, Dawn Solar. So you could say that this show is full of soul. Again, Exclusive Soul, Isabella Solis, and Dawn Solar. So yeah, again, another bad joke from our writers. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these messages for this week. Thank you. Welcome back to this week. As I stated in my monologue earlier, everywhere I go around Las Cruces, people are starting to recognize me, but they don't necessarily recognize me as much as they do as my sidekick, Scott. They all ask me where Scott is, and as I said earlier, it's not like I go around with a toilet paper roll everywhere I go. Scott, as I mentioned, Scott has a home here in our Las Cruces studios, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him out because I mentioned we have a little surprise. Today is Scott's birthday, so happy birthday, Scotty. So Scott, how old are you today? It's your second birthday? So you're trying to tell me it's birthday number 2? I know that's not that funny, but I think it is. I know, calm down. We're just having a little joke at your expense. And relax, we have a little surprise for you. Some of the producers here at the show got you a cupcake. Now, we know that I didn't get you a candle because I know you don't like flames. And also, we got you a little birthday present. I'm not going to put you on it now, but we got you a little koozie to keep you warm because it gets a little cool here in the studio at night. So we're gonna have that for you later on when you're ready to go back into your little home here. So happy birthday, Scotty, and we wish you the best. So stay tuned with the other show here. We have a great show coming up today. As I mentioned, we have Doña County Commissioner Isabella Solis joining us. She's running for New Mexico State House District 37, and she's also an all-around country girl. So let's welcome our first guest, Isabella Solis. Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
So as I was telling you before the show, we have definitely a show that is Las Cruces forward. So are you originally from Las Cruces?
No, I'm not, Sam. My husband was born and raised here in Las Cruces.
And where were you raised?
I was born in Texas.
Yes, I detect a little bit of an accent.
Yes. We lived in Louisiana for about 25 years and started working for FEMA, so that's what led me here. That's
right. I read a little bit of your background on you, and you actually worked during Hurricane Katrina. What was that like?
That was a very great experience. I think that that experience has served me well through the years in working with people in the community.
How so?
Well, providing resources for those less fortunate, and of course, providing housing. And that was my main role as an employee for FEMA was direct housing.
And do you think it helped you as you got into politics?
I think that it was very, very good for me because as I learned how to provide resources for the people in the FEMA community, as a county commissioner, that just connected me to the people in my district to be able to provide those same resources.
So now, as commissioner, right now you're dealing with, of course, the coronavirus that's going on and all the social distancing. As you can see,
I know. I was going to say, yeah.
We have our little protective shield here between us, and we have our mask here at the ready. But how are you? How is it working in politics these days in the state of New Mexico dealing with this? It's not the same as what you dealt with as FEMA because it's not a natural disaster, but nonetheless, it is a pandemic.
It is a pandemic, and as a matter of fact, this is kind of historical, I would say, because this is the first time in history that 50 states have been declared as an emergency. So we are all dealing with that, and not just United States, but all nations across. So social distancing has been very interesting. Learning how to stay home and wear masks is a different norm.
So for sure. So and I believe I always mention it's definitely a time of uncertainty for all of us. So what are some of the things you've been doing during this quarantine?
Well, I've been just staying home a lot. I've been a little more domesticated. I've washed a lot of dishes, and I've even made dinner for my husband. And so the other day when he came home, I said, "Darling, I have prepared dinner for us." So I was able to pull out the Subway sandwiches and set them on the table.
Yes, I've definitely been delving into a little more cooking, but yes, there's certainly some nights that I take advantage of these offers that the community businesses are offering with the curbside to go and the pickup and all that, because there's a lot of great deals right now, because of course we want to keep our local restaurants in business as much as possible.
That's right. I think it's really important. Our small businesses right now are really suffering because of the coronavirus, and so it's important that we do,
support them,
yes.
Right, of course. So I mentioned earlier you're running for New Mexico State House District 37. Right now you're a county commissioner. What made you decide to run for state office?
Well, as a county commissioner, I love what I do. I like working with the people. We've been able to make some huge accomplishments. I spearheaded a $10.2 million road initiative working for our community, which is great. And I can say I spearheaded it, but the commission came together as a whole, so I think that's important for people to know that they were in agreement that we needed to do something. And I want to continue working for our community, but at the county level, we can't change law. We have policy and we have the budget that we deal with. But I feel like at the state level, we can make changes and make laws.
Now, one interesting thing that I saw was that you, at one point, were a Democrat, and then you switched over to the Republican Party. Do I have that right? Do I have that?
Yeah, that is correct. I was actually a Democrat my entire life, my entire adult life. I think it was tradition. My parents were Democrats. We were Democrats of the JFK era, if you recall. Back then, the Democrats worked for the people. The party that I belonged to then is more of modern, more progressive, and it doesn't fit my values and morals. So that's the reason I made the change.
Okay, but as someone who's worked for both parties now, do you see yourself as someone who can create that level of bipartisanship then?
I have worked with my colleagues on the board that are Democrats, they were Republicans before, and I feel, yes, I can work across the aisle with my colleagues, with the commissioners, and even at the state level. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, Sam, I don't really work for a party, I work for the people.
So again, tell me a little. You said you grew up in Texas. When you were a little girl, did you dream about becoming a politician, or what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I always wanted to be a secretary. I thought that was a great job when I would go to town or to the store with my parents or a business, and I always wanted to be a secretary. I thought that was awesome. I never dreamed that I would be in this position today.
So I mentioned to you earlier that I'm a teacher. What are some things that you would tell some young women, but students in general out there about pursuing your dreams?
I would just say that education is so important. It is the foundation of everything that we do, and getting an education is really the beginning into success.
All right. Well, Isabel, I'd like to thank you for joining me today on the show, and I wish you luck in the election. It's going to be on Tuesday, November 3rd.
That is correct.
And we'll see what happens. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages with this week.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, folks, as I mentioned earlier, we're celebrating my co-host, my sidekick, if you will, Scotty. Today's his second birthday, and I'm excited for this week's show because it's full of soul. Earlier we had Doña County Commissioner Isabella Solis, and then coming up we're going to have a great musical guest in the studio, Exclusive Soul, and then joining me in the kitchen is Dawn Solar. So again, lots of soul today. You know, Las Cruces, I'm really excited that we're going to be opening up a lot of things here in the community now, and you know, a lot of the state parks and some venues are going to be opening back up. So I think things are going to be getting back to what we call the new normal, and hopefully we'll be able to get out and about soon. And one of the things that I think once we're able to get back out and visit some local venues is to see this next great group that's going to be here live in the studio. They're called Exclusive Soul, and they perform all over the Las Cruces area. And here they are with one of their songs. Welcome, Exclusive Soul.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the Las Cruces area and surrounding areas, we're down at the Las Cruces station. Las Cruces 98, and we're here, and this is Exclusive Soul. To my left, we have Mr. Skeevy Meredith and myself, Stinger. A girl, and Donna was her name. Yeah. Since she left me, I've never been the same. Oh, I love my girl, and Donna, would you always be? Tell me, where would you be? Oh, Donna, oh, Donna, oh, Donna. Earth angel, will you be mine? My darling dear, love you all the time. Will you? I fell for you, and I knew the vision of your loveliness. I hope and I pray that someday I'll be the